On this week's Tuesday Talk, we are discussing why you may want to completely ignore our story.
What? Why would anybody want to ignore our story? Oh, that's right. Maybe you have no interest in traveling. Maybe you have no interest in Airstreaming. Maybe you have no interest in camping. Maybe this isn't your chosen way of life.
Or you have no interest in financial freedom. You have no interest in early retirement. You have no interest in living on a budget. Again, maybe not your way of life.
And that's perfectly okay.
Yep.
I wrote about this on the sister blog, link below. It is okay if our particular story does not relate closely to you. And by the way, if you're seeing smoke in front of you, it's because we have a campfire right in front of us. This is part of our lifestyle.
It is.
But that's okay if it's not a part of yours. But what we want everybody to do is simply consider your options.
Yes.
So your current lifestyle as it sits now...
Are you happy?
May not be it may be the best.
Yeah.
It may be perfect for you, but then again, it may not. And we went through that very same process earlier on. Well, I guess a couple years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago. And we eventually discovered that that wasn't the best way for us to live our lives, so we made a change.
And what were we doing? We were living normal lives. We were both working IT jobs. We made good salaries. We worked 40 plus hours a week sitting in front of a computer.
If we were lucky.
And spent our weekends trying to fill it with as much fun as possible while doing all the errands and everything else we had to do to maintain our 2 homes and everything else. And that's when we realized that it wasn't, the money and everything else wasn't worth it for us. We wanted to be outside more, and camping was much more of our lifestyle than being in a really cushy house.
Exactly. This is a Sunday night, and we are not the least bit worried or concerned about tomorrow.
I forgot it was Sunday.
So the bottom line is, ignore our story if our story does not directly relate to what you want for your life. However, at least consider your options and determine as objectively as you can, non-judgmental, whether or not the life that you're leading now is really the best for you.
Yep.
And if it isn't, consider alternatives.
Exactly.
That's all. Not necessarily ours.
No.
Everybody's alternatives, because we know living in a 200 square foot, 30-foot Airstream is not going to be for everybody.
Especially on the budget we do it on. And even that being said, we're still doing that.
There's a lot of smoke in front of us.
Yeah, I know.
I hope the smoke isn't bothering you.
We love our lifestyle, but it's still not perfect. I don't know if it ever will be, but that's why we've started looking into changing how we camp so our place is longer. Steve, it really bugs him if he doesn't have good internet or has a hard time finding amenities that he needs, like water or electric. And so we're starting to change how we look at what we want to do, because even our lifestyle right now, which we love, is not perfect. So it's kind of a constant cycle of just evaluating where you are and where you want to be and trying to figure out how to get there.
That's right. It's not a vacation. And understand that the grass is almost never greener. It's just a different shade of brown. So it might not be as brown.
Yes.
But it's just different. I like routine, but I don't like routine for the rest of my life. I like to switch things up. I like to do things for 6 months or a year and then just change stuff up and see whether I like that better or not. I'm just a naturally curious person when it comes to my lifestyle, and I like to do that. You may be the same, then again, you might not.
And change can be
tough. That's perfectly
tough.
fine.
Yeah, change can be really hard.
It can. It usually is,
yes.
Especially when it's a huge lifestyle change.
Exactly. So just know what the end goal is, try to figure out where you want to be, and take any piece of our story you can that relates to you and use it as you like, but feel free to ignore the rest.
Ignore what doesn't apply to you, take what does, and we'll all be happy.
Exactly. So that's it for this week's Tuesday Talk. Hopefully the smoke wasn't too awful.
Yeah, it was a little worse than I thought.
Yeah,
so I'll take a look at this video and see if I can use it.
Yeah. Hopefully it worked out. If you have a question for a future Tuesday Talk, please leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and maybe we'll see you through the smoke. And we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll even be able to see this.
Well,